This is Assistant Chief Dave Tharp. I'm subbing in for Scott Freitag this time for the CAFMA Connect. And with us, we have some very special guests. I've got Tessa Russell here from the Finance Division, and we've got Nicole Engel here from the Administrative Division. We also have one other special guest. Some lawn ornament somehow made it into our presence. And I just wanted to show this for the record for everybody who's watching. That being the case, we'll move on to the rest of the program. So the reason why I invited both of you here was because of the fact that, one, you're fairly new to the organization, and two is we just kind of posted recently for some additional administrative help and finance help. And so what I'd like to just ask both of you right off the get-go is, where did you come from before you made it to CAFMA? Who were you working for? Where did you come from before that? Let's start with Nicole.
I was actually at Prescott True Value. I was their data entry specialist for their inventory. So I was there for probably almost a year before I found out about the administrating job almost a year ago. So
Okay,
yeah, that's where I came from.
great. And Tessa?
I worked for a small construction company for about 8 years as the bookkeeper.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you guys kind of heard about this position, what did you think? I mean, obviously working for a fire department now, you guys probably know a little bit more, but back then, what did you think that about the positions that you guys were applying for?
I didn't know. I knew very little. I did get the job description, and it was like, oh, right in my wheelhouse, because I used to do that previously before in Phoenix, when I lived in Phoenix before I moved back. So I was like, this is what I love to do, and I was like, definitely in my wheelhouse, and I need to apply.
Great.
So.
And how about you, Tessa?
Similar. I wanted to stay within the same career field, and I was super excited about it. I didn't know a ton about CAFMA, but the position sounded great, so
Excellent.
I was really excited.
Well, that's cool. So can you briefly explain for those that are listening, what is it that you guys actually do for the organization? And, if it kind of met in line with what you thought you were going to do, or if it's different, it may be completely different than what you thought it was going to be.
It was it's the same in different aspects, because it's a different company in a sense, but it's definitely like answering phones, get to meet with people like that come through and ask questions about CAFMA, like through prevention or anybody that comes walking in through the door. So that's what I love, is intermingling with people, as well as have my hands in all of the departments in kind of help in that sort of sense. So
Great.
That's what I liked about it.
I would say actually kind of similar. It was what I expected and not at all what I expected. Finance does all the accounting for the department, so, accounts receivable, payable, and payroll and everything like that. But so much more. I didn't realize how involved the whole wildland, the financial portion of our wild run response was. And I did a lot of that last year, so that was all new, and I didn't realize how involved that was.
Now, both of you, I think, have had an opportunity to ride along with the crews as well. Not yet?
Not yet. Nope, not yet.
You, Tessa?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So when you first heard, okay, I'm going to go work for a fire department, and even though they were in the realm of finance or administrative duties, there had to have been some things that were different than what you anticipated. Or maybe it was, I had no idea that this was going on in the fire district. Were there examples of that?
Definitely fire protection agreements.
Okay.
I was unaware that certain areas in the Quad City area do not have fire protection. I thought it was an automatic thing, did not realize, and I've lived here all of my life.
Right.
So when I found that out, I was like, whoa, I did not realize that. That's good to know. So, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of homeowners find that out after the fact as well.
Yes, exactly.
When they buy a house, they think, oh, we have fire protection and we have EMS. And if I call 911, we're going to be in that area. And oftentimes they find out it's not the case.
Yeah. So I didn't know that.
Okay. How about you, Tessa?
I honestly, I guess, didn't know much about fire service because I didn't realize so much of it was medical calls.
Okay.
That kind of
That's true.
blew my mind how much time is really spent on just providing emergency medical care to everyone, all of our.
And I think that as an organization, we are kind of a little bit unique in the fact that we have different divisions that a lot of people don't even know about. Automatically, people think when they see or they call 911 or they see the fire truck that that's the fire department. It's always interesting to me that some of the community members actually think that we have one station that has all of these fire trucks coming out of one area.
Yes.
And when they find out that there's 10 different fire stations throughout the Tri-City area, and that we respond to the size of area that we do, they get a little bit like, wow, I had no idea. But then when we talk about our administrative division, our finance division, our HR division, warehouse, tech services, and shout out to Titus for helping us out today with this podcast. I know this is his inaugural opportunity, but we really appreciate his efforts. But tech services, we have a facilities maintenance division that goes around and fixes all of our facilities. We have obviously a fleet maintenance division that maintains everything. But I think that a lot of people don't, they automatically think it's just the fire prevention and the guys on the fire trucks. So again, thank you for joining us, because we were lucky to get you. And I think I've said that many a times, but I want to reemphasize that. Now, we did put out an announcement for another finance specialist and administrative specialist as well. And I know that people have applied, but if someone was to come to you and ask you and say, hey, why CAFMA? Like, why would I want to work for this organization? What's the big deal? Like, what would you say to them?
For me, it's the people.
Okay.
The people everybody in the office is great. Even the crews that come in and say hi to us. I mean, it's just an all around good vibe, shall I say. So it's the people, and working with such a great organization and working with the community. That's what I love to do as well. I like to volunteer when I can. So that's why I love it. Yeah.
Plenty of opportunities to volunteer out in the community. I would agree.
I would say, it's a really positive working environment in our office. A lot of great people, and then the district as a whole is so supportive and, wanting to know wanting to improve, and, just for us all to be supported in our positions. And in finance, we're awesome. So all of us that work in finance, it's a really good group that we have. So I would encourage anybody to apply to finance.
And we like to have fun in admin as well. So
see, there's a little challenge going on. Somebody who's more fun in which division. I see how this works.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way.
But I will say that I agree. I think that our organization tries really hard to value the employees, not only and acknowledging that we have our own weaknesses and we have things that we can definitely improve on, but looking for better areas of efficiency, also looking for how we can support our personnel, whether it's developing their career paths or even their personal paths. I know that there's been times where people have come into the organization and they've said, hey, I want to apply for this job. They've been qualified for it, but then they've said, I'm looking at a different career path eventually, and they want to go to schooling for that, and we support them in that, and we definitely even provide educational assistance for that. So I think that we do try to foster that, if you will, environment and culture of being able to support one another, and that there's no one person that's better than the other. Right. We can't do it without. I guarantee the firefighters would go absolutely ballistic if they never got paid, or if they lost all their certifications, or if we lost, all their paperwork. So we definitely need each other to be able to make this work. So is there anything that was surprising to you when you came to CAFMA after you've worked here? So you just got done with a year's time, and you just got done almost with a year's time. After that year, was there anything about CAFMA that you were like, wow, that surprised me, above and beyond what you kind of thought coming into this job? Is there anything?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Because there is a lot to learn.
Okay.
Realizing with burn permits, didn't know you need a burn permit. That's another factor that I learned while working with CAFMA.
Most of the public doesn't know that either.
Right.
They just burn stuff.
Right. And I also didn't know the different departments of the fire district, because never would have thought of that. So, that would be off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
Yeah.
So,
Tessa?
I said one of the big surprises was that we do so much medical. And that was probably one of the big surprises. But also, I didn't realize how much we do with the different departments, but also within those departments, like our purchasing group or a fleet, the support we give like other agencies with repairing engines and radio equipment for other surrounding departments that don't get to have a fleet department.
Right.
So we give that to support to smaller departments and things like that. I didn't know that was something that CAFMA did, and or that we had a SWAT medic.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that we have a sworn police officer who is a paramedic that sits on a SWAT team whenever they make an entry to make sure basically to render medical care if any of them get hurt, or to be able to pull them out to be able to get them over to more advanced medical care. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't think that we had like a captain who is also a sworn police officer. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. I will agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that one of the things that has always surprised me over the years has been our willingness to cooperate with other organizations. And to be able to try to support other organizations in their efforts as well, because we are fortunate to have the resources that we do, but at the same time, we also want to help, for an example, the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office with their radio and communications equipment to be able to help with their situation, or just like you said, being able to go out and help repair different apparatus for other organizations and stuff. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think we try to do that. And then we do have a regional training academy that we get people from all over the state that come here to be able to receive their training. So it's definitely a dynamic organization, but it's also one of cooperation and a culture of trying to help and share. So anyways, well, that concludes my questions for this week for CAFMA Connect. I really appreciate Tessa and Nicole for coming in. I know you guys were super excited about coming and participating because you were like both so very happy and reluctantly happy to assist, to help out. But I appreciate both of you. We are really grateful that you belong to our organization.
Thank you.
We hope that we have a great relationship going forward. And if there's any questions, feel free to contact the organization. And again, we're advertising right now for administrative assistants and finance assistant, administrative specialists and finance specialists. So thank you very much for your time and have a great week.